Namaste and good evening, all participants and viewers. At the very outset, I would like to wish all of you Happy Republic Day. On this auspicious day, Council for Teacher Education, CTEF in short, Assam chapter, in collaboration with Gratia Technology Guwahati, is all set to launch its first talk show on the topic Erosion of Values, Outcome and Solutions in Present-Day Contexts. I, Dr. Archana Bhattacharjee, Vice Chairman, CTEF Assam, will be your host this evening, and I will be supported by my team member, Mr. Utpal Saikia. Our resource person this evening will be Professor Keshav Sharma, former Dean, Head, and Professor of Education, ICDEOL, Himachal Pradesh University. At present, he is the President of the Society for Research, Education and Information Technology, Shimla. He is, for your information, a dynamic, multifaceted personality. There is so much to say about him that it will take me a long while, but through his talk, I will leave it to you to know what kind of a person he is in the true sense. We are truly honored to have him in our first talk show this evening. Thank you so much, Professor Sharma, for accepting our invitation and for agreeing to share your views, insights, observations, and experience gathered over the years on a topic which I know is very close to your heart. But before beginning our discussion, I wish to invite our CTEF Secretary General and Chairman of the Assam State Chapter, Professor Nilima Bhagavati Ma'am, to offer her welcome launching address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Archana. Namaste to all viewers, and particularly namaste, a warm namaste to our person who will be speaking about values. He is no other than Professor Keshav Sharma ji. Hearty welcome to you and to all the viewers and all the participants. Already, Archana Bhattacharya, she has spoken a bit touching today's program. Let me just tell you one thing, that we have launched this program synchronizing the birth centenary of our founder president of CTEF, Dr. Gulab Charosia. From 25th June 2021, we have started the program and it will continue up to July 2022. So from today we are launching. We did 6 webinars, international and national, but from today we are starting the talk show. We'll be inviting the eminent personalities and they will be interacting, talking with our host, CTEF host, on the issues which are very pertinent in the society. So without delay, I welcome you, Keshav ji. I welcome you heartily, and I hope your interaction with Dr. Archana Bhattacharya will bring lots of insights in all the participants and also to all of us, and we will be benefited in the optimum manner. Thank you, and I welcome you once again, and over to Archana Bhattacharya.
Thank you, Nilima ma'am. That was indeed a very short but very warm welcome. The topic for today's discussion, as I've already stated, is erosion of values, outcome and solutions in present-day contexts. Now, erosion of values, as we all know, is causing havoc in our society. We can all agree, in fact, we all agree that values, which are nothing but a set of moral principles, which are deeply embedded in our culture. They are mainly based on respect for one another, importance of integrity, and striving hard for peace and happiness. However, if we take a closer look at the world around us, we have to face the harsh reality that these values are hardly cared for anymore. living in a country like India, we have all grown up with some strong religious background, having good value systems, but they seem to be losing their way in this deceptively modern society of ours. So this evening, we are here to discuss what is the gap, or what is responsible for this gap. And if we do not take this gap seriously, what will be the outcome? There are so many things coming under the broad canopy of values, but we cannot go straight to the problem. We have to take many aspects into considerations. So this evening, I would like to hear the views of Professor Keshav Sharma in this very important topic. So, sir, first of all, I would like to ask you, what exactly do you think is the root cause of human problems?
Well, Dr. Archana, you have already given the answer and saved our time. I think needless to say, it is the what you call values and I call dharma, right? So when we forget or tend to forget the good laws, cosmic laws, right? When we are unable to distinguish or discriminate between what is right and what is wrong, what should be done in a particular situation, how to take decisions which do not affect the autonomy of other people, something like that. So problems are arise. So it is a crisis of values. When values are eroded, then the problems are there. Simply, yes.
But do you think there are some other causes too leading to the human problems? Not necessarily values, but some other things which also contributes towards it?
That is right. But my position for the last so many decades, and on the basis of my own experience, is that this is the most important, you can say, the cause of all the problems. Any problem, without any exception of the world. Now, you may say that, okay, if our health is not good, the problems are there. If we do not have some money or wealth, there are problems, isn't it? Such things are going on, isn't it? But if we retrace our steps, we'll find that we come to a single point known as values. If you have values, then in spite of the fact that your health is not good or you don't have much money, something like that, you don't have a big house or a car or something, or whatever you can say, or a good job, still a person with very strong and crystallized system of values will never cause trouble and will always be happy, right?
Yes.
So other
Yes.
causes are there, but this is the main cause.
So you mean to say that priority-wise, values or lack of values is the root cause of all the major problems that we are facing in today's world, right, sir?
Well, you can go through the entire history of humanity, our existence, and you will find that everywhere where we have wars, what is the reason? Why are we fighting? And what are we fighting for? You will find that when somebody murders a person, what is the motive? Definitely, the fellow is violent, and violence does not come under values. It is anti-value, something like that. So, but you can say that if you ask me, I will say, I do not use the word value, isn't it? It is not gold or silver or diamond. It is something even far higher and beyond that. Even all the gold in the Fort Knox in US cannot compensate for the loss of what I call dharma.
Yes,
What
yes.
are,
I knew you would be using this word.
and then when being a student of science, I can
Right,
argue,
right,
and
right.
logician, we can argue and prove it right over here. Actually, what when we talk about values, that this, right? Truth and non-violence and all that, that will come to later on. These are not, we may call them values, But I will, not I, but our great sages, those who had done a lot of research long, long ago, since ancient times, and they call it Lakshana, that is the indicators of Dharma. So what we call values, I call
Dharma.
indicators of Dharma. If somebody is following, or if you can perceive some indicator, even single one, in a person of Dharma, then we can say that he is trying to follow the path of values or Dharma, right?
So you mean to say that if there is an imbalance in dharma, it
Hmm.
obviously leads to human problems. That is one.
That is right. That is
Okay.
right.
Okay. Then now moving on to the second question, which is plaguing my mind.
Mhm.
Like how can we have identified problems.
Mhm.
The second question is that how can all the human problems be solved?
Again,
Or is there a way? Is there
you
a
have
way?
already given the answer earlier also, and everybody knows it, that we don't have values, suppose. This is the only cause of problems or misery, human misery. And once we try to imbibe or follow the path of dharma or values, problems are over. Problems are over. Now, in modern times, what we are seeing, we are perceiving that people are trying to earn money by selling the blood of corona people. You follow the point? Taking the undue advantages of an object or an article having value 100 rupees is being sold for 500 rupees. There have been and this has been going on for the last thousands of years, right? This clearly shows that certain people are creating problems because they don't have values. Their only value is to earn money by any means. But once we decide, take an oath that no, we will not follow this path. We will follow the path of Dharma, the truth, the righteousness, right? There will be no problem. Yes.
But you have stated and you have given a lot of emphasis on dharma also, and how it is so important uh, uh, in our life and everything related to our life, in fact. And then, if it is so important, and dharma obviously for us also means religion, because religion teaches us all this righteousness,
Religion
in a
is
sense. I mean, then how can we make the values or the dharma that you're talking about a part of our life? Like, how can we strive for dharma?
this is quite simple. Wherever I have been talking about values or dharma, I always emphasize on one point that there is a difference between a religion and dharma. Religion has certain dimensions, right, which may undergo or which usually undergo changes over time. But dharma is eternal. It will, no, for example, one of the indicators of dharma, we'll talk about the original definition of dharma later on. One indicator of dharma is that we should speak the truth. Right. Now, one should speak the truth for leading a wonderful life. So, this definition will remain. It will never change. I don't, for the last tens of thousands of years, it remained constant. No change. Right? But in the process of this religion, apart from other things, is a procedure of worship mainly. Dharma is not a procedure of worship, it is worship itself. It is not a procedure. For example, a Christian will go to church and read Bible and do this and that. We Sanatan Dharmis are what we call ourselves Hindus. We go to temple or in our um, home temple. We just sit and meditate, right? Light the lamps and sing bhajans and all that. No, these are the ways, different ways. Islam this shows other paths. This is how it goes. So the goal may be the same, but the procedures are different. Whereas when it comes to dharma, it is not a procedure. It gives us the eternal guidelines for leading a what I'll say a fruitful, good life without any tension, worry, or stress. In modern times, why are we under stress? Incidentally, I'm reminded of one incident. Long ago, I was working with J&K police and giving them lectures and workshops on stress management. At the time, the insurgency was at the top, right? People, the policemen did not know whether they will come back alive in the evening. So when I was discussing this with SPs and up to DG rank people were sitting, right? After discussing all different values and all that, then lastly I wrote a single line, what we are discussing today, that all the problems are due to the lack of dharma or values. And all the problems will be solved if we follow the path of dharma or values. And one of the IGs who has PhD in chemistry, he discussed later on with me for many hours. And he said openly that this is the only point which has to be discussed when it comes to stress, right? We are not under stress because we are not leading what you call a life which is determined by dharma or values, right? So, yes.
So, sir, dharma to you is a way of life. It is eternal and it's a way of life.
You may say. Yes.
And religion, on the other hand, has certain constraints, certain limitations, their boundaries. And so we actually cannot benefit, or we cannot bring about qualitative improvement in a life by pursuing a religion, but by following a dharma, definitely we can bring about. That is what you are implying, isn't it, sir?
That's right. Now see, if we just sit down and think about our own Hindu culture, as you call it, right? We'll find that there is only one name we call our dharma as Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan means eternal, right? We do not have any other word like Islam or Jain or this and that. And under Sanatan Dharma, we have thousands of sects, right? We have sects, right? All the sects which are under the Sanatan Dharma follow the tenets of Sanatan Dharma, or what you call the values, right? That is why you will find that for the last tens of thousands of years, Hindus suffered a lot at the hands of aggressors in this country. Why? Because they were taught that violence is not a part of life or part of dharma, right? And people do not know. Now, religion gives us mainly a procedure of worship. That is why people belonging to different denominations, procedure of worship, procedures of worship are different. Is it? No, here is a very important point. Any people try to understand that, then a lot of problems will be over right over here. How? That all religions are supposed to be based on dharma, right conduct. If any religion is not based on the tenets or indicators of dharma, then it is not or even a proper religion, isn't it? For example, non-violence is very important. Ahimsa hi paramo dharma, ahimsa hi paramo tapa. Nothing like there is a top thing, right? But in some denomination, in some religions, if violence is promoted, then at least I will not call that dharma, that religion based on dharma. And this is those who are sitting over here, I think they can draw their own conclusions. What is happening in the world, right?
Right.
Isn't it? And yes. What happens then? Now, what happens? Because Hindus have been following, by and large, these principles of dharma to lesser or greater extent. That is why we are surviving. Hindus are surviving. They survived in spite of all the problems, all the onslaughts, all the violence meted out to us by other people, right? But all those who followed the path of say no violence, gradually all those religions were finished. No, we do not even know what kind of religion was 5,000 years ago. But
True.
कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी, as
Yeah.
it was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, you have certainly given us plenty of food for thought to ponder on. This is something very important because we all claim to be pursuing our own religion, practicing religion. But if we are not actually following the tenets, the true tenets which Dharma prescribes, then we are not actually practicing our own religion also. That's what I understand.
That is right. मंदिर में जाके घंटी बजाना और लाइटिंग के टाइम पर अगरबत्ती, I mean that is not dharma. For dharma, you need nothing. Yeah. But your desire, your strong will to follow the correct path. Paropkaraya punyaya papaya parpidanam. This is written by great sage Veda Vyasaji. That what is dharma? In simple lines, paropkar. When try to help others. That is dharma. Papaya parpidanam. And if we cause some problems, cause some pain to others, that is pap or adharma. Very simple. Right? Atmana pratikulani paresham na samachare. What is dharma or values? How can we say that I or you or somebody is following the path of dharma or values? Simple. If the fellow is following this, Atmana pratikulani paresham na samachare. That is, do not do something to others which you do not like to happen to your own self. I do not want that somebody should hit me, so why should I hit others? I don't want. Which I do not like, so that goes for everybody. This can never happen that I do not like to be beaten by somebody, but I would beat other people. Now, this is no way to call dharma or values, right? Yes.
There is no end to this discussion, of course. But I have two more very important questions to ask you while we are on this. And I have often, I have faced certain conflicts in my mind in regard to the question which I'm going to raise next.
Right.
That do you think there are any different professional values and personal values? Because most of us, the participants here or watching even on Facebook live stream, they are mostly teachers, professionals.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to know, I'm sure they also have conflicts time and again. There is a different set of professional values and different set of personal values.
The first thing, let me define dharma, because all my talks on values, they are based on this simple shloka which I have been using. Now this shloka you can get from Narada Samhita, perhaps even in Manusmriti and so many places, right? Dhriti kshama damo asteyam, shauch mindri nigraha, dhir vidya satyam akrodho, darshakam dharma lakshanam. Now, what is dharma? Now, dharma means, he says that these are the 10 indicators of dharma or right conduct. First thing, the dhriti, that is, you dharya ko rakhte hai. You do not lose your patience. Kshama, forgiveness. Are we able to forgive? There is no time otherwise. I need some few hours. And dam. Now, dam means that whatever are the conditions, you remain tolerant. Asteyam means non-stealing. Even when you think that, oh, I like this cheese, this thing, this should have been with me, it is stealing. It is not that you physically pick up some article and run away. And then dhi means your Acha, nahi, same. Shauch mindri nigra. Shauch means cleanliness, external and internal. Internal means your thoughts. Very difficult. It is a thoughts are responsible because thoughts are the most powerful weapons in this universe. And if our weapons are very sharp, they are going to hit and kill somebody. Hmm. Indri Nigra means you have control over your sense organs. And then the that is always thinking of increasing your what do you call the mm, buddhi, right? Your intelligence, or vidya means you are following a path where you are trying to get some good knowledge, experiential knowledge, and then satyam, that is following the path of truth, and the last is aprodh. In spite of the fact that you have been instigated, you have been provoked, still you do not get angry. Now these are the 10. Now see, now we come to the prophet. How can it happen that at home you speak the truth, but when you go to your office, you are full of lies? This can never happen. You are not two persons, you are a single person, single entity. Therefore, there is no difference between professional values or personal values, economic values, social. No, these classifications or categories are made just for the sake of convenience. That's all. But you will find that I gave you the example. It's not possible that you go give lectures that women should be respected, right? All that. And when you come back to home, you just take 4 pegs of strong whiskey and beat your wife. How is it possible? Then how is it possible? This is not, and everybody knows. Therefore, without, any exception, I think the best way and simplest way is if we really, now, we don't have time, otherwise, following the path of this true dharma is that is almost impossible, right? That is why we have the Niti Shastras. What do you call it? Not diplomacy, but there is no proper word in English. Okay? How to apply the tenets of dharma in practical day-to-day life. The truth says, dharma says that if you see a blind fellow and somebody asks you, then you said that he is blind, andha hai. But you cannot actually bluntly say it. So what do we do? How to apply this in real life, practical life? We say, Surdas ji. Ye Surdas ji aa rahe hain. The blind fellow is known as Surdas. A child who is very naughty or very dull, I would like, मैं चाहता हूँ उसको मैं क्या कहूँ कि you are a gadha, you are a donkey ass. But no, because it will hurt him. So instead of that, I have a very good word in Sanskrit, Vaishakhanandan. Ahaha. What a beautiful word, Vaishakhanandan. Arey kaho Vaishakhanandan kaise ho? No, the point is that professional and yes, I think time is up. Professional and private or public, your personal values, they are not different. The values remain the same. What I told you, how to implement them, isn't it? Now
Yes. That means a person cannot have two sets of values. Whatever you are at home, you have to be there at your professional work setup also. Yes. You are not two person. You are not a split personality. You're one. You are one. So you must continue being whatever you are doing at home, practicing at home. You must continue doing the same, even if you have to be the loner. Even if people criticize you, or laugh at you, mock at you, you have to be the loner, but stand straight, stand apart from the crowd. Don't get lost in the crowd. That's what I feel.
That is perfectly right. Because you cannot have, you are one person, you are not many persons.
Right.
You are not, so you have to be what you are inside, you have to be outside. In the modern world, what is happening? This is known as hypocrisy. We cannot be hypocrite. They're showing something different and In fact, we are
practicing something different. Yeah.
Yes. Next end, I think.
Now we are coming to the last question, and that is directly related to the teachers. What do you think is the role of education in inculcating human values in children?
I think the answer is very simple, but implementation is most difficult, right? My first vice chancellor, a great man, used to say that it is very easy to conceive the idea, but very difficult to deliver it. And I think this is true here. In fact, first thing, we cannot teach values to the students. Values are imbibed. In our Indian culture, acharan, behavior. Acharan pe zor hai. Behavior is most important. Students will follow the behaviors that you exhibit in private life, that is in personal life, and also in your professional life in school and college. So first you imbibe values, and then you show those values that you are really following these values. And the students, without any, the only thing that you can do, okay, as I explained the shloka, so you explain with some examples and stories and all that, why this is this. But that won't be having any impact. I assure you, impact comes from your own behavior. So behavior is important, not your teaching.
The teachers have to be the role models. Example is always better than precept.
That is right. What kind of role models we have? I once, long back in Bikaner, when I was conducting M.Ed examination, and I caught hold of a headmaster cheating who was awarded national award. And I have so many stories like that. National. And I caught him where? Not in the examination hall, but in the washroom. See? For 2 days, I didn't say anything because my father was the first national awardee of this country. So I didn't want to embarrass that fellow. Okay, twice, 2 days, okay, let it be. Third day was the last day in statistics and research paper. We were having a chat, and I just got hold of that. And I think he was devoured for 3 or 5 years. Okay. And once in Bengal, I was traveling. I read a news that a teacher or a principal or a master was he was a murderer or something, and he also got national award. No, anyways, it's a long day.
Yeah, I think because of the time constraint, we'll stop our questions here. There are so many questions, of course, and it'll never end. We'll continue another day. And right now, the platform is open for a discussion. If any one of the participants out here have any question or any queries, any observations to make based on what Sir had just shared, please feel free.
Sure.
Namaskar.
Yeah.
Sharmaji, just a small thing. I truly agree whatever you said, because values are taught, they are not taught. We know it very well. And what is lacking in the present, I should say, parents, because earlier, I also myself, I stayed in nuclear family, but my brought up was similarly very simple and, typically what you said, in the Indian way, that was brought up like that. But the problem is with lots of parents, which I have seen, that the sanskar, we call it, the main sanskar, that sanskar is totally missing. That is why, we find that the children who are reared, nurtured in the best way, or who comes out of the home with full sanskar, they have the values and they continue it. Unless and until they do not get any obstructions in life later on. That's what I feel. But this is what I think I should also think, that we should give parental education and also try to do something to revive the word dharma. This is such a beautiful word. To revive the word dharma into their own life, in the life of the family, in the society, and in the nation as well. I agree with you. Particularly, you talked about the teachers very well. I am associated with teacher education for a long time. For a long time, I have seen I was in one particular institution for brief time. I have seen, in order to get the affiliation, in one night, overnight, a library was built. And he is the main administrator of the institution. So what will be the condition of the teachers who are coming there to teach? So this is where the things are getting wrong in the education sector.
That is right. I think it requires, perhaps some time ago, on this platform, I have been, not I mean my group, my seniors, fighting with NCTE. Now, recently, if you have gone through the newspapers, there is a Manav Bharati University in there.
Yes, I've gone through it.
So I knew a long ago, and at that time, I was very emphatically telling the government that not to allow these people to run a university. Because, and so happened, they issued only less than 800, bona fide or legal certificates or degrees.
Exactly.
And sold tens of thousands. And they have run away, and red corner notices. No. Now in Haryana, Punjab, and elsewhere also, this concept is there, that non-attending culture.
Yes,
no
the same
evolution in teacher education. No, all these. There is no end.
So going on. Yes.
Going on.
No end to it.
And even Prime Minister Modi won't be able to stop it. Why? Because most of the teacher education institutions, they are the properties of some politician or his crony. Right? You cannot do anything. University knows, government knows, court knows, everybody knows that the students are not coming to the college. They do not know who is the principal. If you make them stand before the principal, they won't recognize him or her, because they never entered the college. And they are getting first division and distinctions. Same way. And recently, two inspection committees in Himachal, only 2 days ago, were caught taking red-handedly caught, taking 10 lakhs and 2 lakhs bribes
for affiliation.
This is going on with NCTE, with NAC and everyone.
Everything.
Isn't it? Now the only thing is actually what is sanskara. I am a traditional Brahmin, and Archana knows very well. I will shoot my son for the traditions, because that is most important. Now, modern parents won't be able to give any sanskar to their, because they do not have. No, a thing which you do not have, how can you give it? If you have something, only then
that is the problem. That is the problem, which we are facing in the society right now.
I am reminded that many years ago, I was invited to talk to 5,000 parents in Bathinda. That was the biggest, perhaps biggest,
congregation. Huge gathering.
My first sentence was that if you are unable to give time and all these things to your children, don't bring to earth. You have no right to bring the children to earth, isn't it? Now, what is happening? You can see.
Yeah, right, sir. Yeah. Thank you for your, very good explanation you have given. So now we have this value crisis or the value erosion, which is now the burning age going on. We're seeing it every day, something or the other comes in newspaper, or we see it in reality. So this is the thing, we have to build up the new generation. I think that is the only answer. I get it to myself and parental education also.
Yes, very true.
The new parents.
Parents have to learn. Parents have to learn, relearn. They learned earlier, but they have to relearn.
Unlearn and relearn.
Things have gone beyond out of the hands of the teachers, right? Because who gives the directions? In Sanatana Dharma, it is the great sages and seers who have been giving directions.
Right.
Had been following that, right? But now everything is controlled by politicians. And you can very well see that a politician worth his salt will never agree to have these values. That is why whenever someone talks about introducing some kind of value education or this or that, isn't it? There is a lot of hue and cry. Even our Sanatan Dharma is followed by the foreigners. Even the Ford, the grandson of the Ford, he became Hindu in Hawaii. Why? Because those people, they know that the solution to all the human problems, they are already there in Sanatan Dharma. But if you talk about in UK, Sanskrit shlokas are being recited by these British children.
Yes, sir.
So many
Yes.
examples.
In many schools, we have stress.
But what is happening over here? You cannot teach Gita. Whereas Gita is a simple, simple thing, not related to any religion.
I think we are.
I think sir is having some connectivity problem.
And we're also coming short of time.
Yes. Anyway, that was one wonderful and a very thoughtful discussion today. And we have really learned a lot. It was an eye-opener. You have given us so much of food for thought. I'm sure all the participants, all the viewers have benefited from these discussions. So thank you, viewers. Thank you, participants. And thank you. Gratitude from my heart to Professor Keshav Sharma for coming to our midst today and making all of us wake up from a slumber and making us aware of our responsibility. And we look forward to meeting you again. In the meantime, I would like to tell the viewers and the participants that we will continue this series for the next couple of months. So look out for another talk show next month with another educationist who will be talking about another aspect of education. And for today, thank you so much. Gratitude from my heart. And thank you all the participants and viewers. And lastly, Happy Republic Day once again. Keep safe, keep smiling, and continue supporting us, being with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Keshav.
Thank you, Nilima ma'am. Also, in spite of your prior program, you decided to cancel that and be with us today, and that really made a difference. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks everyone, and particularly Professor Keshavji. We are grateful to you. You spoke so wonderfully just within the limited time, and that is what we learned. Values in one sentence, values cannot be taught, it should be caught. And they have to imbibe from the immediate environment and the external environment. So we all should be good human beings with proper dharma.
Very true, very true.
Very true.
Dharma is the word that we should all make a part of our life. That's it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. We'll meet again next month and another day.